And welcome back to House Call. Your host, Tony House, right here on NSSRadiotV.com every weekday, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock for a power hour with this pending lockout of hockey in the NHL. That'll shed a lot of attention to don't go away. There's lots of hockey to be played come fall with a lot of great junior hockey. Of course, we have a great major junior team, Ottawa 67s, but we also have a great unbelievable junior A hockey league in the Central Canada Hockey League, which produces a lot of great players on to the next level. Peter Chiarelli yesterday emphasized that it is a great development league, and he obviously speaks from experience as he's one of our alumni. So every Wednesday I'll be talking about the Central Canada Hockey League and do a Where Are They Now segment. But pleased to be joined by the Commissioner, Kevin Abrams. Thanks for taking the time, Kev.
My pleasure, Tony.
Yeah, great. So maybe talk about, again, I know you've got a wealth of experience over 25 years. Maybe introduce yourself to the viewers and listeners about, your background in hockey.
Sure. This is my seventh season as a commissioner. Really my first opportunity to get involved in the administrative side of the game. Prior to that, I've coached minor professional hockey in the U.S. I coached major junior as an assistant coach in a couple of different locations. I managed and coached and owned teams at the junior A level for the better part of a decade. So I've kind of done a little bit of everything since I got into coaching. I started coaching when I just was around 20 years old, which is, wow, that's over 30 years ago. So I've been involved pretty much my entire life, playing up until the time I was about 20 at a lower level than I've ever coached at, certainly. But I've been in the game for a long time and seen lots of things happen, and really enjoying the capacity that I hold now with the CCHL.
Yeah, and how did you come about to take on the role?
Now Rumalita still on the board. And now here's the Hawks, 2-on-1. Got Dawson getting back into play, going right in on goal. They shot the score! It looks like Ellie gets the first goal of the hockey game. Keeps it in temporarily. Now the Hawks.
Side of hockey, and I was out of hockey for about 48 hours altogether, and I got a call from some of the around the ownership and management table in the NCJHL, and said, "Listen, we've got sort of a flux situation with the commissioner's position. There was an interim person in place, John Comerford, who had taken over, but only on an interim basis, and would I be interested?" And I thought about it, and I checked with my new employer and wanted to make sure it didn't conflict. And in fact, it really suits well. It allowed me to stay in the league, which on the Ontario side, they had the province of Quebec as somewhat of a protected area, but they didn't really have a presence in Ontario, so they established this league for that purpose, and it was really a part of Montreal. It's obviously grown and evolved and taken a lot of turns, and there's some great times in the early days, and some great rivalries, and certainly some great hockey people that got their feet wet and cut the teeth in this league as coaches and managers. I mean, our own Brian Murray from the Tigers, coaching this league, and we look at Bob Hartley in Calgary, coached in this league, and you have Peter Chiarelli on. So we really have a tremendous number of executive alumni. But I guess the most famous part of our league is in our two most famous alumni, being Steve Eisner and Larry Robinson. And they both played in this league as young players before embarking on major junior careers, and we've named our two divisions after them. So our history has always been one that we've emphasized player development, giving young players an opportunity to play, and that's certainly more challenging today with the changes in regulations that we're dealing with. But overall, our focus has been primarily on player development, giving kids a chance to use this league as a stepping stone. We went a long while in between national championships. That September Columbus teams won the national championship in 2011. So we really raised the bar in terms of our caliber of play, but all the while really focusing on player development. We moved a lot of players on to the next level. We have a good number of players that are currently in the NHL. Some people think Claude Giroux is the best player in the NHL right at this moment. He's an alumni in our league as well. So we've got a lot of players. Even a guy like Dana Supras, who played in our league and went directly from playing for the Pembroke Lumberkins at the on TV. So we really, I think that's what we're most proud of. And we've got a group of owners and coaches and managers that really are passionate about player development, work hard to make that happen. And that's the reason why I wanted to.
You mentioned some of the names, Patrick Sharp, Martin St. Louis, Jimmy Howard, Dan Boyle. There's a Grant Clitsome. There's just a ton of names that have gone through this league, and even if you look at the numbers, Pete Halpenny, your historian, included some 27 in the NHL, 63 D1, 78 NCAA D3, 43 in the CIS, and in the major junior, 37 guys are currently playing from this league. So you got to be proud, and you did credit the the ownership and coaching and whatnot. What else are you kind of most proud of, and what do you credit the success of the league to?
Well, I think we've had real stability too, Tony. I think if you look at a lot of leagues across the country, we're the longest continuously operating junior A league in Canada, and I think we've had very little flux in terms of franchise movement or anything like that. We've really latched onto good markets and maintained them, and we've expanded from 10 to 12 teams in the last 6 years, and really have done a good job in nurturing those expansion markets that are in Kemptville and Carl Place, and we've attracted good people that want to get involved in the league. I think you look at a guy, the most recent maybe being Tom Gill, who still owns the Brockville Braves, but is now coaching in the OHL in Kingston. He recognized that this league was a good opportunity for him to sort of get his feet wet coaching and running a hockey club, and then really parlay that on representing Canada, internationally and position in the OHL. So, we attract the right people because I think we're saying and doing the right things, and I think that's really what's allowed it to sustain itself. And I'm probably most proud of that is that at any given time we've got some former NHL players, former professional players, and just people that have been good hockey people at the minor level or other levels of junior that have really recognized that this is the league that they want to be a part of, and we've just recently added Ron Tuckman to that group as a part owner in Kemptville. So it's really exciting that people that kind of have an interest in our league and want to see it grow and continue to grow and share the vision that we have as being a development league, but a pretty competitive place to watch and play hockey.
Many of our viewers, probably not so many, kids because they're probably in school or should be, but plenty of minor hockey parents will be facing the decision coming out of minor hockey and enter this world of junior hockey. What advice can you give to them when they're going out and evaluating the different options?
Well, I think the first thing is obviously, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint, and I think it's unfortunate that players and parents are forced to make such a young age, but that is the playing field that we're on. And what we provide is really a place to be adjust and used to the concept of junior hockey, living at home or very close to home. Not maybe making it a really rushed decision about which path, whether it's the NCAA or the CHL, whichever path you choose, and maybe spending a year acclimatizing yourself to junior hockey and learning about all the options that are available to you. And we're suited well for that. We have a number of them that have come into our league relatively uncertain as to which path they wanted to take, looked at both options, and gone either way. And I think that's what we're able to do is we can step back and say, listen, if you want to play in our league for a year, like Claude Giroux did. Claude Giroux was never drafted in the OHL for 2 years in a row. Played in our league as a 16-year-old, wasn't sure what his options were, had tons of NCAA interest, but at the end of the day decided that major junior after all was path for him and went to the Quebec League. We've had a number of players that have done the same thing and gone to the NCAA. So we have a guy like Matthew Peck who was courted by major junior and decides, I want to play at the collegiate level and does 2 years in our league, and at 18 he's the rookie of the year in the ECAC. So those are the things that we're proud to be able to provide. Is a place that there's a tremendous amount of pressure. Just go ahead and play and let your game find itself and make sure you're not rushing to make a decision that impacts your future. And we think that if you look at the numbers, if you're patient and you work hard and you improve on the ice and you continue to work hard in the classroom, because school's always going to be a part of your hockey, whether sure that they don't rush into decisions they don't need to make at the age of 15 or 16. Our league is a good place to play at 16 at the challenge level. It certainly is a well-recognized level. We'll have over 100 organizations at our showcase this weekend. Virtually every NHL team will be there. Most NCAA Division I programs will be there. A huge number of CHL scouts will be there. So, nobody gets unnoticed anymore. Everyone is on the radar. Playing in our league is certainly a high-profile place to play, and if it's going to be, it's going to be, and just make sure that you make good, sound decisions along the way.
On the line, Kevin Abrams, Commissioner of the Central Canada Hockey League. You can also follow him on Twitter at Central Junior. So 7 years into the job, you must have had obviously a plan, short-term, long-term. What are some of the goals that you've reached, and maybe some things that you're working on in years to come?
Well, you know what, Tony, one of the things I wanted to do is I thought, if I did this for 3 or 4 years and just, sort of gain some headway in a few areas, I'd always thought that the area could really have a 12-team league. It had never been larger than 10 in history. And I thought, the way things have grown in terms of the communities in the Ottawa area, the 12 teams certainly survive. The other thing is, I wanted to implement some programs that really raised the bar for all the franchises so that their experience wasn't radically different from one organization to another. And a lot of leagues, that's really their undoing. Is the teams that are at the bottom of the haves and have not list really can't provide the same experience to the players. So we implemented a lot of programs that really ensure that wherever the player happens to play, he's going to get virtually the same thing. So we have equipment programs. We have some post-game meal programs. We have a concussion management program that we've implemented this year. We're the first junior A league to come up with a full-scale social media policy, a player contract, a coach's code of conduct. Those are all things that we've done to make sure that everyone understands their responsibility here, and that there's certainly I think a good opportunity, regardless of which of the 12 franchises that your son is playing for, that he's going to have a positive experience in junior hockey. So that's really what I wanted to do. There's still some things, we've added a lot of technical growth to the league. All of our games are broadcast on Fast Hockey. We have tremendous statistical program. We have the most in-depth scouting software program in North America. It's the only junior A league to do that. So we're really leaders in a lot of areas at the junior A level. And I think, what we're trying to do is continue to lead and make sure that all of our member franchises really continue to raise the bar to make that player experience positive. And that's going to attract more and more players, and we're seeing that. And it's certainly going to make it for, a better caliber of play and more opportunities for those players for having played in our league.
Well, and they'll be on display this weekend at the annual fall showcase at the Canada Rec Complex. Every team will play 2 games in front of scouts from, obviously you mentioned, the NHL, the NCAA, CIS, major junior teams. So what a great weekend that is. So I encourage and promote anybody who's in the Ottawa area, come out and see some fantastic hockey. Appreciate you taking the time. Just before I let you go, I run a house call hot seat, Kev. Got to put you on it. Are you ready to have some fun?
Absolutely.
All right. Favorite TV series growing up?
Well, growing up, I'm still growing up, so I could say Seinfeld.
CD in your car?
Bob Dylan, Blood on the Tracks, believe it or not.
Nice. A player you would start an NHL franchise with today?
Pavel Datsyuk.
Best hockey movie?
Yeah, say Slapshot.
A sporting event you would love to attend?
I'm going to the Winter Classic. I'm a big Red Wings fan, and I'm going this year, so it's a to-do.
And it better happen. A sports team you would love to own? Any sport?
My Detroit Red Wings.
All right. Best hockey player ever, past or present?
Well, you have to go with Wayne Gretzky.
Okay. And your ultimate golf foursome. So you and 3, anybody you want to hang out with for 4 hours.
Wow, that's a great question. I'm struggling here.
Yeah.
Maybe some of our famous alumni, maybe Steve Yzerman and a Larry Robinson and Brian Murray. That would be a great day to chat with those guys with their experience.
Yeah, we got a lot of options, and those are 3 good ones. So, hey, Kevin, really appreciate it. Good luck on the weekend, and I'm sure I'll see you.
You will.
All right. Have a good one, Kev. And that was Kevin Abrams. He is the CCHL, the Central Canada Hockey League Commissioner. Hey, just because this lockout is pending, some great junior hockey to follow, and I'll follow it here locally with my Wednesday segments featuring and promoting some local teams, plus Where Are They Now segments with some high-profile hockey guys who probably attribute a lot of their success to the time they spent in the Central Canada Junior Hockey League right here.
Catch Tony House interviewing the big names in sports as he hosts House Call on NSS Radio TV, where we walk the talk, uncensored and unscripted.